We've been playing together for a while now. I was wondering, are we friends? Oh, I see. No problem.
November 6th, 2038. 82 days, 12 minutes exactly since I ruined my first investigation.
Oh, feels like somebody's playing with a drill inside my skull.
Probably because I slapped you and threw you into a bathtub, Hank.
Okay. Let's get going.
Well anyways, here I am, entering the sinner's den of heathenish delinquents. Now strange enough, the entrance is actually a character customization screen for Final Fantasy Online. I found a dead man, no doubt murdered by a vampire, and a woman who died of a nosebleed. And like any normal detective, I consumed her blood.
Oh, Connor, you're so disgusting.
After waking up the woman, I decided the best approach was interrogation.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you able to speak?
Accusation!
Did you kill him?
No,
Pressure!
I didn't see anything.
What else do you remember? Hurry, we don't have much time.
I don't know. I don't.
Accuse other android!
So it was the other android that strangled him. Is that it?
Well, it turns out my approach worked decently as I got no answers and she died. This man was obviously strangled 28 times.
It's too late. The android's memory had been reset. If one of them saw the Tracy, we'll never know. I should have been faster.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna make yourself useful.
Once again I failed, but at least Hank now has a complete lack of trust in me to do anything right. Back in my life of Kara, we were busy driving to Canada or something. Well, let's see what's on the radio. Oh, would you look at that, the public hates us.
Is it much farther?
We should arrive in an hour or so.
Then Luther, on purpose, broke down our car so we were stranded in the middle of nowhere.
This doesn't look good.
Listen, Alice. You're adopted.
Stay inside, Alice.
And with that, I did the typical opening of the hood, quick glance, and made the statement, "Oh yeah, she's looking pretty shot. Too bad I don't have my toolkit on me or I'd fix her myself," and gave up.
There's nowhere we can stay around here, Carol.
Oh yeah? What about the giant sign pointing with an arrow, huh, Luther? And look at that, Pirates Bay Cove. Kids love pirates or something. But of course, nothing is ever good enough for Alice. Well, that looked unsettling. Luckily, I'm an android and I can't feel fear.
Welcome to Pirate Island, me hearties. You're gonna have a whale of a time.
What? I'm gonna have a whale of a what? After that experience, I searched more areas to sleep in, but everything was just wrong and hopeless. Fortunately, we found a broken down restaurant to stay in. It had all life essentials, pillows, blankets, pistols, and posters of families.
Do you think we'll be like them someday?
And tonight, on Being Realistic with Alice,
I don't think we'll ever be like them, Alice. Get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be a long day.
Can you tell me a story, Kara?
nah. Our peace lasted about 5 seconds before the next round of Nazi zombies fired up, forcing me to have to make a decision. Luckily, an easy one. Protect Alice, or gun. Always gun. And without hesitation, I blasted a warning shot.
Stop! One more step and I'll shoot!
Even though I already did.
Don't be afraid. We don't want to hurt you. We're just like you.
Well, turns out these guys just wanted to put Alice on a pony ride.
You have something to show her. Something fun. She'll love it. Does she want to see?
I tried to reject their offer of
She should follow
fun,
us.
but Luther just had to say yes.
I don't think you have any choice.
So yeah, we put Alice on the ride and I had to pretend like I cared. It was just incredibly awkward for everyone. Now, a day after my failure at the club, Hank was clearly upset that we had made literally no progress on our investigation at all.
Nice view, huh?
Why?
I used to come here a lot before.
I don't care, stop drinking.
You should stop drinking, Lieutenant. It could have serious consequences for your health.
That's the idea.
You seem preoccupied, Lieutenant.
Hank was definitely starting to feel my failure.
Something to do with what happened back at the Eden Club?
I wish we had found that girl that killed that guy.
Stop living in the past, Hank.
Maybe she had a reason. Maybe she was just defending herself.
I gunned down his android sympathies immediately to prevent him from caring at all.
It didn't want anything, Lieutenant. It was a deviant, that's all there is to it.
You look human,
Sure.
you sound human,
Yes.
but what are you really?
A simple question. Aggressive answer.
I'm a machine. designed to accomplish a task.
First jam.
I know why I exist and who designed me.
Right hook punch.
I have a reason to live.
Then finish him.
I guess that's the difference between us, Lieutenant.
Hank utterly despised everything about
Nothing
me,
else matters to you but your investigation, huh?
so I reassured him.
I believe your personal issues are clouding your judgment.
And that was exactly the push he needed. Do it, you coward.
But are you afraid to die, Connor?
No. Are you?
Why would I be afraid?
What'll happen if I pull this trigger?
A bullet will physically damage me, but emotionally damage you more.
You know you're not going to shoot me,
So I
Lieutenant.
pushed him further.
You're just trying to provoke a reaction.
And further.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint you.
You think you're so fucking smart. How do I know you're not a deviant?
I know what I am and what I am not.
Wuss. And therefore, I set irreversible consequences into motion. I might have died, but not more than Hank's spirits, which he would then also indulge in more of immediately afterwards. Well, after Markus, had now murdered 2 people, one on purpose and the other, well, on purpose more, it was time to take it up a notch.
It's time humans heard what we had to say.
You know they'll never listen to us. And revealing ourselves will put us in danger.
If we want freedom, we need to have the courage to ask for it.
Or take it! Just
That's
take
the
it
only
from
way.
them!
Channel 16 broadcasts from the Stratford Tower. The control room is on the top floor. That's where we need to go. We'll plan the operation down to the smallest detail. We can't leave anything to chance.
This would be easy, like crashing an episode of iCarly, but, well, with Terminators. We had to access the 47th floor, where Hitman lives.
Hello, sir. What can I do for you?
I get nervous talking to girls.
I'm okay, thanks.
Then I learned everything there was to know about Elizabeth Wilson, and figured, hey, wouldn't it be funny to pull a prank on her in the middle of a workday?
Elizabeth Wilson speaking.
Yeah, hello, this is Detroit Fire Department. Do you live at 4685 Michigan Street?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. There's been a fire in your building.
Well, that sure got her good. I should start a YouTube channel.
I have an appointment with Mr. Peterson.
Do you have any ID?
Yes, of course.
Turns out I can make all androids love me, so I can get whatever I want always.
I've just checked your ID. The elevators are after the security gate.
So I made my way up to the 47th floor and entered the RTX doorknob bathroom. Found some sort of Fallout board game in the roof that ended up having a disguise in it, so I became a CEO at Vault Tech. I then heavily inspected this man's hand-washing technique. It was viable at first, but I could sense his nervousness at my observations. I noted he did not, in fact, sing his ABCs and would indeed be killed by germs immediately.
I need your help.
I quickly acquired a company credit card from the same android I left at the warehouse, let North into the building, and then we got to work hacking into the mainframe.
All right, you get the platform, I'll take care of the window.
Everything you need is in the bag. Check the door first to make sure no one else gets in.
I immediately ignored her suggestion and got to work. Right as I was in the middle of vacuuming the window, some nerd walked in through the door I didn't lock.
What the hell are you doing?
There was only one option.
Turn around.
Holy shit!
It's okay, sir, I'll let you go. Into an unconscious state.
All right, we gotta move fast. Won't be long before they know we're here.
And with that being said, we scaled a skyscraper. Still not as intense as getting Carl his breakfast, but we were getting there. Right after we broke in and entered the top floor, we were given a situation to deal with. But Mr. Goody Two-Shoes over here said,
Can't take any human lives.
well...
What are you doing? We got armed intruders sent!
And just like that, we were in.
They know we're here now. We better be fast.
I'm sure he'd be fine, as that was the only possible way to handle that situation. And with that, we calmly waltzed into the broadcast room.
Keep your hands where I can see them. Get up. Move.
I could tell we had slightly upset some people. Then this loser tried to run and trip like a friggin' idiot.
Shoot him, Markus.
Don't kill him!
He'll hit the alarm. Do it.
I didn't actually need a reason, I was just waiting for the best angle.
There was no other choice.
True.
Think carefully about what you're gonna say, Markus.
Oh, I have.
Your words will shape the future of our people.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Markus here. Before I get into it, make sure to like this video.
We are a new species, a new people. And the time has come for us to rise up. We demand that one state be reserved for androids so that we can found our own nation. This message is the hope of a people, but it is also a warning. We will fight for our rights because we believe our cause is just. No human will live in peace until we are free. We are alive, and we demand our freedom.
And we will kill for it. Turns out we weren't allowed to be in here, so we started getting gunned down by the authorities. Then Simon said go, but the SWAT said no.
Simon, they're coming! All right,
Now the funny thing is, Simon was never a part of my future plans, so this wasn't much of a big decision moment for me. He meant no more to me than Carl's son did.
If we don't go now, they'll get us too.
And with that, we leapt off the side of a building and parachuted away, as you do after a successful live stream.
This message is clearly a declaration of war.
But the most surprising thing of all is the demand that one of the United States be ceded to the androids in this contentious conflict.
Is this an isolated accident or a sign that technology has become a threat to all of us?
Well, the public feared us and Simon was dead. Things were going great. Back in the shoes of Connor, I was busy explaining to Hank.
Some fragments of memory are lost every time I'm destroyed. It slows down the investigation.
My humblest apologies. I promise I'll never shoot you again.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Now I got to work right away. I assessed that this dead guy was dead, this dead guy was dead, and the FBI agent looked like he needed to be dead.
What's that?
My name is Connor.
Androids investigating androids, huh?
With that, I decided that I hadn't interrogated in a while. Might do me some good. There were a couple of guys hanging around when the attack happened, but being nice never got anyone anywhere, so...
You're going to be destroyed! Do you hear me? Destroyed!
After yelling at them, I decided torture was the next best option. So I ripped out one of their hearts and held it hostage.
File component 8451. Without this module, you'll shut down in exactly 63 seconds. You just have to tell me the truth. Are you the deviant?
Well, turns out he was, but he was also really good at stabbing. Things were looking great, again, and failure was inevitable at this point, so I just started kicking over chairs, ripped the knife out of my hand, and crawled towards my android lung that he ripped out. I was about a millimeter away from it, but decided to give up.
I need help!
Connor! Hang on, son, hang on. We're gonna save you. Hang on.
Deviant. There was...
For some reason, now Hank cared about me, which felt completely out of place considering a day ago he resorted to shooting me in the head.
Connor!
And then I died. Again. Well, back in the life of Kara, I found myself being brought to some random dump farm out in the middle of nowhere by Luther.
I'm looking for Rose. Is she here?
What do you want with her?
I need to talk to her.
She doesn't want to talk. Go away.
I'm Rose.
Turns out Rose did want to talk, and this punk was a complete snot-nosed liar.
I was told you could help us.
Help you? Come on.
Ah, another one takes the bait.
It's better if we talk inside.
Nice. That's right, punk. Keep walking.
We have to be careful. If it feels wrong, we get out fast, okay?
We all walked into this house knowing it was significantly safer than the last, and that we'd all be absolutely fine here.
She's running a fever.
We've spent the last few nights outside.
There's a spare room upstairs. You can put her to bed and I'll bring her something to eat.
Why do humans hate us? We didn't do anything wrong.
Well, because, Alice, humans are the worst. I reminded Alice that life will always suck for us.
Sometimes it's easier to hate than to talk.
Then Rose, on purpose, brought spaghetti, PTSD food from the night I shot Todd. Because I refused to show Alice 1% of affection or care, Luther sat down to provide that. He was becoming a nuisance. I realistically walked downstairs and went to have a mediocre conversation with Rose.
So are you gonna tell me what a deviant's doing in the snow with a little girl?
No.
It's a long story. All that matters now is that we move on from here.
Rose, come quickly.
Well, after that fruitful talk, I found out Rose is basically like that guy at the mansion storing androids in her boot room.
She just shut down. We used to talk about what we would do once we got across the border. I loved her. I loved her more than anything. What will I do without her?
Well, I mean, you could always, bring her to a bottle depot, might get like $5 for her. Alice was, of course, sticking her nose in none of her business, concerned for the dead android. So instead of consoling her, I just said,
"It's okay."
So Rose's son started freaking out or something and jumped to imaginary scenarios where the police would get involved, as to which Rose put him in his place.
That is enough, Adam! That's enough!
Literally, his bedroom. Obviously, I got in his way to make things beyond awkward. Hey, what's the matter, Adam? Seems like you can't get by me here, Adam. You're looking kind of like an android there, Adam. Why you walking like that? Well, after 20 minutes of messing with good old Adam, I spoke with Rose.
It's been hard since his dad passed away.
That's great, Rose. I just want to get to Canada.
I'll go see about getting you across the border tonight.
Perfect, thanks.
You stay here. I won't be long.
And with that, Rose left me unattended in her home. I then spoke with Luther for like 5 seconds.
There's something I need to tell you. It's about Alice.
Not now, Luther.
The distance emotionally between Alice and I was immeasurable. So anyways, I want to go talk with Adam because we're like best buds now. So hey, sport, you want to talk about the lack of dads in our lives or something? I resorted to just droid-splaining to him.
We don't want to cause any problems for you and your mother. We'll leave as soon as we can.
After that heartwarming conversation...
The police.
Are they armed?
It's the police. They know we're here.
Absolutely they do.
We have to open the door.
Nope, make them wait. I let Adam panic for another 30 seconds, but eventually the cops started triple and quadruple knocking, so letting him in was the only way to get him to shut up.
Good evening, ma'am. Sorry to disturb you. We've had reports of androids in the area. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
The cop was one of those friendly faces sort of fellas, so naturally...
Would you like a cup of coffee?
I'd love one.
I would never make him a coffee. I only said that to psych him out. We then proceeded to have an engaging conversation.
Is anyone else in the house?
No, just us.
Do you have any androids here?
No, there are no androids here.
What's with the blue blood? I thought you didn't have any androids.
No idea what that's doing there.
I sounded super convincing. Well, because Luther was starting to care a little too much, I staged an accident.
Don't move!
No, Luther!
Oh hey, 2 birds, 1 stone scenario.
You're gonna have to finish the journey without me.
Was I sad? Well, to tell you the truth, androids can't compute sadness, so no. Alice, on the other hand...
Luther!
Oh, hey, Rose.
Get yourselves ready.
All ready to go.
We leave tonight.
Well, back at Markus HQ, we were prepping for a heist and watching the news.
They took Marcus's message as a threat.
He did the right thing. This is the only language humans understand.
Violence is never the answer. I don't
My
want a revolution that
partners
spills
started
blood.
arguing as if their opinions
Because
mattered
if
or
you're not
something.
willing to fight for
Whatever
your
they were
freedom,
talking
maybe
about
you
didn't
don't
matter.
deserve
It was time for violence.
That's enough!
There are 5 CyberLife stores across Detroit, all selling us like merchandise. We're gonna attack those stores and set our people free.
You see the alarm system?
We noticed the security measures within the store, so before anything else, I needed to do one thing. And with that out of the way, I ran around the store building up my army. These androids would fight and die for me because I'm a pretty good sweet talker. And look at them, lost, looking for purpose.
My name is Markus, but then I chose to open my eyes. You don't have to obey them anymore and fight by our side.
We're with you!
Bunch of suckers. Okay, now it's kind of just getting creepy, guys. I was then told to be deliberately violent without any other course of action possible. And so we tipped over this thing, and I smashed all the windows, and we tipped over a car.
Markus.
And then North said,
Violence is the only language humans understand.
True. So I took this Molotov cocktail and burned the car, which definitely got rid of any sign of pacifism because that would look like weakness. I then hung a giant holographic sign on a building to show the humans that we're not gonna take it or something. And after my violence meter was filled, I knew I had made the right choice.
We freed hundreds of our people.
Wait, that's it?
They're coming.
Well, somehow lighting an entire city block on fire got the attention of the feds, and my people immediately began to flee like the cowards I knew they were. But then, around the corner, I heard...
North!
I didn't know what direction North was, so I just ran.
North, you alright? What happened? North!
They killed them.
Turns out the cops shot a bunch of my newly acquired androids, calling the weak for short, but this was also an opportunity to send a message.
We want justice, Markus.
They have to pay.
But when the moment finally arose, conflict arose. Was I really about to do this?
You don't have to do this. No.
Was I really about to stoop to their level? Absolutely, I needed to set that bar high. Well, no going back now.
No crime against an android shall go unpunished.
Well, as it appears, the public did not like that very much.
Executed with their own service weapons.
Back in the life of Connor, Hank's emotions were starting to wear him a bit thin.
Still immortal, huh, Connor? You know, I was hoping you wouldn't come back.
All in due time, Lieutenant.
I'm just a machine replacing another machine, Lieutenant. You shouldn't get emotional about it.
Hank disliked that.
Fuck you.
Well, regardless of that situation, we were now prepared to talk to the creator of androids.
Lieutenant Hank Anderson, Detroit Police Department. I'm here to see Mr. Elijah Kamsky.
Please, come in.
Just a moment, please.
Mr. Elijah was swimming in either cranberry juice or blood. There was no alternative that made logical sense, but he just kept swimming, making us wait for him to finish his laps like he thought it made him look cool or something. And it absolutely did.
I'm Lieutenant Anderson. This is Connor. I know you left CyberLife years ago, but I was hoping you'd be able to tell us something we don't know.
Perfect beings with infinite intelligence. And now they have free will. Humanity's greatest achievement threatens to be its downfall.
If a war breaks out between humans and deviants, millions could die, Mr. Kamsky.
Is the desire to be free a contagious disease?
Listen, I didn't come here to talk philosophy. The machines you created may be planning a revolution.
Oh, they absolutely are.
Well, that's what you're programmed.
No! We stared each other down for a second until he said,
"What do you really want?"
So I immediately got aggressive.
I believe we're the ones asking the questions.
He summoned one of his androids and then went on this whole monologue about perfection or whatever. I wasn't really listening, but then he gave me a gun, and I was listening. But the gun also came with a choice.
Destroy this machine, and I'll tell you all I know. Or spare it, if you feel
okay. Hank did not appreciate that.
You choose your investigation of the life of another android, you feel no empathy.
As Hank stormed out, I stared down at the Chloe. Yup, I was definitely a good shot at 2 feet.
I'm a man of my word.
In the end, I didn't actually care what he babbled on about, something about a war or whatever. And then I left.
You shot that girl for
Hank was not impressed.
It was a machine that looked like a girl.
You put your gun against her head and you blew her brains out.
I sure
What
did.
I had to do to advance the investigation, and I'd do it again if I had to.
You're a lowlife. You don't feel a thing, do you? A machine, that's what you are. You're
Lieutenant Hank was just promoted to Captain Obvious.
Of course I'm a machine, Lieutenant. What did you think I was?
I thought...
After everything I had done, all of my screw-ups, all my failures, that was the moment I knew I had crushed him. Regardless of whatever happens to him next, he truly died in that moment. So anyways, as Markus, I was busy pondering my big revolution day, but North would not stop bothering me. I dodged all of her questions and then left her there.
Where are you going?
To talk to the humans.
North really thought I was a friend or something. Pathetic. We made our way downtown and it was time to continue building my army.
We'll all be killed. Please, Markus. It's not too late to change your mind.
Too late.
You don't understand. We're finally gonna show them who we really are. This place will go down in history.
Well, actually, this whole place is gonna go down in flames. I waltzed around the street, grabbing every single android I could, pulling them away from their masters.
Come with us.
One of the owners even tried to interfere, so I immediately got violent with him. In fact, I was just looking for any reason to push a human around. I then embraced my inner Age of Empires monk and began walking the street, instantly converting all androids into my massive army. All androids I saw would join me, and I would choose all of them, except you, to stand and fight alongside me. I even converted Greg, and that's when I knew this revolution was truly happening. Well, and then the cops just had to get involved, which was a joke considering they probably knew what I did to the last cops that got involved. Liberty for androids! Freedom! Set us free! Destroy all human— Oh wait, no, we're not there yet. My attempt at hyping up my army for war was working, and just in time. The police force really thought they were gonna try and stop us. I mean, technically this was still a quote-unquote peaceful protest, but that was just a front.
All we want is to live free.
This is an illegal gathering. Disperse immediately or we will open fire. I repeat, this is an illegal gathering. If you do not disperse immediately, we will shoot.
Marcus, they're gonna kill us.
If we attack, it will start a war. We have to show them we're not violent. We should just stand our ground, even if it means dying here.
This is your last chance. Disperse immediately, or you will all be killed.
Android army!
Don't do it, Marcus. Don't choose confrontation.
Wow, thank you so much for that suggestion, Josh. With that in mind, I launched a full-fledged attack on humanity! With how easy it was to convert almost 200 androids to my army within like 5 minutes, I knew that even if we failed here, it would be easy to rebuild. Freedom at all costs! Ow, he shot me! Okay, disarm! The android revolution has begun! This is actually incredibly difficult! Look at me go! What the heck? I'm a freaking Terminator here! Oh! Revenge! Come on, I killed lesser people for less! With every hit, with every attempt on my android life, I became more and more powerful, more merciless. Killing humans was becoming a second nature to me. First, obviously, being bringing Carl his breakfast. Soon I found that North had decided to fight right behind me, making it difficult to, assess my surroundings, so I got her shot at my earliest convenience. Plus, I got to fire a big rifle at a guy, so that was pretty cool too. Then the riot team decided to wuss out and fall back, which was hilarious because we decided to not let them. As I took a moment to breathe in my surroundings, to look at the battlefield, the bodies, the blood, I began to realize that this was pretty dang cool. Well, we did. You clearly didn't. Wait, you're telling me the public did not like our peaceful protest? Well, back in the life of Connor...
You're off the case.
What?
The FBI is taking over.
What? But we're onto something.
This isn't just another investigation. It's a civil war. We're talking about national security here.
That. You can't just pull the plug now, not when we're so close.
You're always saying you can't stand androids. I thought you'd be happy about this.
We're about to crack the case.
You could tell Hank was
we can
truly
solve
losing his
it.
mind,
Would you back me
considering
up
we
this
literally
one
had not
time?
found anything yet.
There's nothing I can do.
And at this moment, I realized I'd brought Hank to the point of quitting his job.
Take a few days to think it over. There's no rush.
I thought enough about it. I'm tired of going through the motions. There's nothing keeping me here. Not this case. Not my partner. I don't belong here anymore.
Oh, stop being so dramatic, Hank. Well, after Hank was off the case, I decided to actually do something with my useless existence. My first order of action would be letting a convict run loose in the precinct. What a good prank. Then, of course, this oafish brute tried to talk to me, so I immediately left.
I'm talking to you.
I realistically walked down some stairs to the evidence room, changed my voice pitch to pretend I was some delinquent deviant to convince this loser to tell me the location of Jericho.
You'll be alright. I came to take you home. Just give me the location of Jericho. You've got to leave now.
Jericho.
Then I downloaded his arm.
Don't leave me again,
And killed him.
Don't leave!
I've been dreaming about this since the first second I saw you.
I'm not a sex bot, Gavin.
Don't do it, Gavin. I know how to stop the deviants.
Unfortunately, he was human, which meant he was also compulsive, emotional, and irrational, so I easily dodged his bullet. Pressed E to disarm him. Deflected his hilariously weak attempts at kicking me, and then WDAD'd him right to the ground. I fixed my tie to symbolize how little he inconvenienced me. Well, back as Kara, Rose was leading us to Jericho to find some nerd named Markus.
That way, there's a large freighter called Jericho. When you get there, find Markus. He will help you. It's not much.
You kidding me? $50.
But it's a start.
Gee, thanks. Why don't you just spit on me while you're at it? Well, we found ourselves on the ship known as Jericho, and I sat Atlas down somewhere and left her alone because obviously she, a human, was safe amidst a bunch of androids that just murdered a city block of humans.
Are you Markus? There's a bus leaving for the border in less than 2 hours, and we need passports.
One of our people used to work in the State Department. He has electronic passports you can easily modify. I'll have him get them to you.
Well, that was easy. So anyways, I went back to Alice and... Wait.
Alice?
You're not Alice. Wait, but if you're not Alice, then...
Oh, no, 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 no!
She wanted a mom. You wanted a little girl.
What a human girl! You've been telling me I've been protecting an android this whole time?
Do you love her any less now that you know she's one of us?
I mean, that's not even possible, seeing that we're as distant as can be, but if I had to answer, yes.
She became the one you wanted her to be.
I didn't ask her to do that!
Kara, is there something wrong?
And then, I truly ruined our relationship to heights thought unachievable. Ellis was beyond distant at this point. Nah, but I'm sure she was fine. Besides, I had more important things in life to worry about, like how to download a Canadian accent. This really wasn't the time to be emotional. As for Markus, I was getting incredibly emotional and aggressive.
What are we supposed to do? Live like cowards just to survive?
It was a peaceful march, and you chose to attack.
Yeah, what about it?
Hundreds of humans and androids are dead. You reap what you sow.
Huh, Reapers. I like that.
Humans enslaved us. I'll never regret standing up to that.
All that matters now is what we do next.
And obviously, full-on confrontation.
We have to face them.
Finally, the ball was rolling. However, Josh was becoming a little too opinionated.
Mistake, Markus. You won't buy our freedom with blood.
No, but I will with guns, violence, and death.
Humans can't be reasoned with. They're violent, hateful, they're stupid. What do they expect us to do? Shut up and obey?
They can't stop what we've started.
No, they can't. No one can. Not even Carl. With that, North left. But I, Connor, was there all along. And at this point, there was only one thing left I could do.
I've been ordered to take you alive.
So I immediately opened fire. Well, a warning shot.
You've never done something irrational?
Never. Not once. I'm an android. We're not irrational.
It's time to decide.
The funniest part is Markus thinks I'd convert to his side. I didn't ruin Hank's life just to become a deviant.
But I'm no deviant.
And so our fight began. But it ended just as soon because Markus ran out like a little punk. Turns out the FBI also got a lock on Jericho. And probably a good thing, these androids were getting out of hand. Well, the situation was getting heated and Alice and I were absolutely hauling to get out of this piece of garbage safe haven. We definitely used anyone we could to our advantage. And then as Markus, I decided,
we have to blow up Jericho.
You'll never make it. The explosives are all the way down in the hold. There are soldiers everywhere.
Go and help the others. I'll join you later.
Finally, Operation Destroy Jericho was being executed. Amidst the chaos, I got to watch this lady die.
This is the end of Jericho.
True. Isn't it beautiful?
Save our people, Markus.
Ew, no, I'm doing this for me. As Kara, Alice and I were witnessing so much glorious death, the weak being cold as the strong survive. At one point, I even got to lock a massive steel door with a bunch of androids on the other side.
She'll die out there, Kara. Open it. Open the door.
No, Alice. They are not our people. Canada awaits us, Alice. Don't lose the vision. Don't be a fool, Alice. See, Alice? That could have been us. Weak and dead.
There was nothing we could do.
Absolutely.
Don't shoot. I'm on your side.
With us? Are you a human?
In this situation, there was only one true course of action. But of course, I missed my first quick time event. Classic Connor move. But in the end, I did indeed DS downright overdown this utter buffoon. As Markus, I was busy contemplating who was better to kill. Obviously the human, but I still needed at least a couple of androids to send to the front lines. I left these men unconscious, full well knowing that it'd be a waste of bullets on them when I'm blowing up the ship anyways. Well, I absolutely plowed my way through the ship and humans like they were mere insects, leaving them all alive and severely injured in a Batman sort of way, I suppose. But then, Josh. I mean, I could intervene, but, well, I never really liked the guy anyways.
That's what causes violence. Don't become like that.
Really? Those are your last words. You will be forgotten, Josh. I will make sure of that. Well, Alice and I were in quite the predicament.
Get down!
And as we lay there, I thought, how much am I willing to sacrifice to get to Canada? And as we lay motionless on the floor, I knew my inaction was my best chance of staying alive, but possibly at the cost of—
Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh, never mind, we good. Hey, Alice, get up. No hard feelings, right, Alice?
My mission is to neutralize you, and I always accomplish my mission.
Said the android who hasn't accomplished a single mission. Well, I greatly overpowered Connor and knocked the gun right out of his hands. And, well, Connor was reminded of what a bullet to the head feels like.
I didn't want this.
We'll meet again, Markus.
Pathetic.
This isn't over.
Well, with Connor dead and a heap of unconscious humans scattered about the ship, I began the detonation process.
Bomb's gonna explode any second. We gotta get out of here.
As North and I evacuated the ship, she, on purpose, decided to— North, listen to me. You're way too clinging. I just can't have that in my life, so best of luck in your— Oh. Yeah, so, I'm just gonna leave then, I guess. I was now the only remaining leader out of the original 4. Their trust in me was greatly misplaced.
The ship is sinking, sir.
The men to evacuate.
Calling all units. Abandon ship and evacuate immediately.
It's over, Marcus.
Humans, so emotionally compromised. Before I took any more steps towards the revolution, there was one last thing for me to do. But I ran into one of his new toys.
How did you get in?
I need to see Carl.
Carl isn't seeing anyone.
So obviously, I converted him.
I'm not sure he'll be able to talk to you.
Well, with that said, I went right in to confront Carl. So weak and fragile.
Marcus, I was hoping you'd come.
I've missed you so much, Carl.
What's wrong, Marcus?
You taught me everything I know, but I wasn't prepared for this. I thought we would win because our cause was just.
But then I remembered, Carl's a human.
Humans hate us. They want to destroy us because we refuse to be their slaves anymore. I'm not gonna stand around and wait for them to slaughter my people.
You used to be so calm and thoughtful.
Carl's lies only made me angrier.
Don't I have a right to be angry, Carl? We tried talking to you, and what'd you do? The same thing you always do. You humiliated us. Killed everyone that wouldn't kneel.
So much hatred. Be careful, Marcus. That when fighting monsters, you don't become a monster yourself.
What you call hatred is just anger in the face of injustice. You're the one that taught me that history is sided by the winners.
At this point, there was no turning back. I would tell Carl exactly how it is. He would know of humanity's impotence.
Did you hear me? Never again.
But it appears that, in my anger, I killed him.
Carl.
He's dead.
Whoops. So anyways, as Connor, I decided to stop by Hank's place, just see how the old fella was doing. Turns out he was just chilling at the table.
I was worried about you, Lieutenant. I came by to see if you're all right.
I could tell he was still upset about me failing every single investigation.
You know, every time you died and came back, made me think of Cole.
Wait, who's Cole again?
Give anything to hold
Oh,
him again.
right. Well, in that case, I didn't insist.
I understand.
Now leave me alone. Go on, complete your mission, since that's all you care about.
I did try to take a quick nap, but
Get out of here!
And with that, I left. I was sure he would just go back to watching the TV show or something. Well, that's one investigation that I couldn't fail at figuring out. Now that Carl was out of the way, I had no ties left to feel sympathy for the human race.
Humans have decided to exterminate us. Our people are packed in camps right now, being destroyed. One that very well may determine the future of our people.
The public hated us for no reason, not one.
Now, if they want war, they'll get it.
Therefore, it was time to launch a full-on assault.
Freedom, and we will succeed or die. Are you ready to follow me?
My android army was assembled, and there wasn't a single other android leader alive to oppose my decision or sway opinions.
All electronic communications are restricted, and I have granted enhanced powers to our security agencies.
Wait, what? You guys have questions? I can't.
Madam President!
I'm not.
That will be all.
There will be no questions. Meanwhile, Alice and I were finally escaping to Canada when Alice had to go and say,
I'm really cold.
"Oh, silly Alice, being cold builds character. Consider yourself lucky enough to feel it." Well, turns out the military decided to show up and round up any androids on the loose.
No, please don't hurt me.
What are we gonna do?
We were way too busy at the moment to help.
Keep going if we want to catch that bus.
Look over there. It's Jerry.
We came across some of those guys we met at the pirate place, so of course Alice piped up with,
Kill them.
although we could definitely have stepped up and helped them, they've never done anything for us, so.
Sorry, Alice.
It's okay, Alice. Just forget about it.
I just want to go home. No, please!
At least that wasn't us, right, Alice? They were really starting to get aggressive, so I figured we should probably just get moving and ignore everything that was going on here.
Checkpoint. We have passports. It should be okay, but you never know. We could take a detour, but we might miss the bus.
After knowing we wouldn't pass the checkpoint, we went the detour way. No more risks.
Today, November 11, 2038, is the day the android people rose up against their oppressors. We won't cease hostilities until we are free. There are millions of us, and we will stop at nothing.
And so it began. What started as a simple android feeding some old man was now leading a full-fledged army attack on Detroit. We had the firepower, we had the numbers, and we had a flag, which really didn't do much, and it was actually kind of hard to see. Meanwhile, as Connor, I found myself atop a building overlooking the giant android force. With me, I had brought a special high-powered sniper rifle capable of killing a Markus, and that's exactly what I intended to do.
Put the rifle down and turn around with your hands in the air.
Of course, the idiot squad came to the rescue.
I have the deviant leader in my sights.
Listen, morons, I'll give you one chance.
Around. This is your last warning.
No, I gave you one chance. Ah, frickin' thing. Boys, listen, you don't want to do this.
You're Connor, the android from that hostage situation.
Oh yeah, sure. Why don't I just bring up all your past failures?
You don't understand. My mission is too important to let you interfere.
Unfortunately for them, I'd already given them their last chance. Guys, don't worry. I'm going. See? I'm on my way. Just kidding! Oh man, it was almost too easy. Almost as if I was being given the exact move to coordinate perfect takedowns on these so-called professionals. As I continued making these fellas look like the only time they'd ever trained for a fight was WWE, I had fully achieved Terminator status. Then the head honcho came to fight. So I deafened his weak human hearing devices and shot through myself to perforate his pathetic fleshy shell. Embarrassing to say the least.
You should have listened to me, Captain.
Sadly, the sniper rifle had been damaged when I dropped it, so a new plan was in order. Meanwhile, at the bus terminal, Alice and I were almost to Canada. Unfortunately,
Last bus for the border is full. Ticket holding passengers only. All departures are suspended until further notice.
well, that certainly put a dampening on our evening.
What are we going to do?
But then, lady.
I think Oliver likes you.
Okay, you can't possibly know that. Look, it's a baby.
Is she yours?
The lady thought
Yes.
Alice was a human.
She's adorable.
Freaking idiot. The woman's sugar daddy came by to get them onto the bus.
Let's get going before we miss our bus. You got the tickets, right?
Yes, honey, in my bag.
Great. Let's go then.
Well, typical human error, she dropped said tickets, as to which I promptly picked them up. I knew Alice and I would make it now, but then...
I'm so sorry. I was...
I don't believe it.
I don't know what happened.
You can't have lost them. Did you have a good look in your bag?
They were in my backpack. The envelope must have fallen.
Excuse me, you didn't happen to see a blue envelope somewhere, did you?
No, absolutely not. How dare you accuse me of such heinous crimes, you absolute buffoon.
Sorry. What are we gonna do?
I don't know, not my problem, loser.
Stay here? We have to find a safe place for Oliver.
Oliver. Everything's always about Oliver.
I'm so sorry, honey. I don't know what happened. They were right here in my bag.
Alice, listen. It's survival of the fittest. Never forget. So anyways, we made our way to the bus.
Yes, here they are.
Okay, go ahead.
Did we just steal from a baby? Wow, it really is that easy. But naturally, Alice just had to ask.
What's going to happen to that family and their baby? Will they die because of us?
Yep, 100%. But that's okay, because we get to live,
You have to
Alice.
make a choice, Alice. It was them or us.
And on that note, we headed for Canada.
And the situation is escalating towards civil war in Detroit, with our armed forces preparing to put down the android rebellion.
Authorities seem to be expecting a confrontation with the rebel androids here at any time.
My android army gathered around me one last time in our final attempt to overthrow Detroit. And then I whispered to myself in order to sound cool,
Freedom or death.
and we charged straight into the gunfire and mortars crashing down. An army that can feel pain versus an army that can't. A horror concept for all humanity. I began rattling off the peons they shoved to the front lines and charged upwards on the battlefield. The moment I could use my android army to further my selfish interests, I did. And did they succeed? Well, if my success is theirs, then in a way they did. I ran up past the barricade, success at 58%, which were odds that I could live with. And instead of spraying them down, I wanted to do some hand-to-hand combat needlessly. And so I absolutely did. The chances of success dropped to 53%, but that's just a number.
I don't want to die, Markus. I don't want to die.
Then you won't die. Convince yourself of this.
You gotta keep going. There's nothing else we can do, all right? Come on.
Advance, soldier! You gotta get out there and fight for— Well, that didn't work. I ran past Skippy there and demanded covering fire, as to which I booked it to the next cover, at the expense of a few androids, of course. I rattled off a couple of boys and pushed forward even more, within fear-sensing distance of the humans. It was a good day. As I commanded more covering fire, I took third base at the cost of a couple more androids. Unfortunately, I was losing a lot of bots and needed to wrap things up here. Signaling for both covering fire and suppressing fire, this moment really made me feel like a Terminator. And success was rising. Well, my boys and girls were dropping like flies, which meant we needed one final aggressive push. I commanded 2 sets of covering fire and a charge assault on the final pathetic attempt of human simpletons, and we charged in, losing only a mere few more androids. And, well, that's when they brought in the tanks. That didn't matter. Get in there, my android army! But I might have been a bit too aggressive. Something felt off.
Took me a while to find you, Markus.
Hello, Connor. And with the distraction, I chucked a mag at the inferior bot and drop-kicked him back. For complete domination, I knew what needed to be done. Every last decision, every single human and android I'd sacrificed for the cause had led to this one final moment, to truly dig the ultimate grave in the name of humanity's greed. Connor tried everything he could to fight me, but his efforts were in vain. You cannot defeat an android who fed Carl breakfast day in and day out. You cannot stop an android who killed Carl's son for pushing him. I snapped his arm like a twig and beat the ever-living tar out of this failure of a detective. Or should I just call him a defective?
It's not over, Markus.
His delusions ran deep.
It will never be over.
But so did that bar through his chest. And with Connor destroyed, I eat the queuing up out of the human sorry excuse for war vehicles. And it was over. I had slaughtered countless humans that opposed my great force of androids.
The humans are abandoning the camp!
Yes, let them run. Let them flee for their pathetic existences.
We did it, Markus! We've won!
And there was no one powerful enough to stop me.
It's the beginning of a war.
Meanwhile, at the incredibly realistic depiction of the Canadian border...
Excuse me, what's going on?
Border control. All passengers must leave the bus.
Well, that served as a definite problem as the Border Patrol were checking for androids and destroying them on the spot. Well, as long as no one started a full-fledged revolution or something, I'm sure everything would be fine. As I looked around, I noticed a familiar face. Naturally, she glanced over me as to not arouse any suspicion. Then I noticed a bathroom and signaled to meet me there. She agreed. As we entered the washroom, I knew deep down that there was no way I could possibly get into Canada, not even if I threw Alice at Mach 10 into one of the guards and just booked it. And then Rose burst in and gave me a hug. Human germs. Disgusting.
They're checking for androids. We won't make it through.
You have to.
We literally cannot, Rose.
You know what they'll do if they catch you.
Do you not think I know?
I'll be there, Kara.
Somehow I highly doubted that. And with that, Rose left. Our chances were not great. We left the washroom, got complimented by Rose's son.
You killed somebody. You don't deserve to live.
Huh. So anyways, we got back in line. But then it was our turn, and I had to make a decision. Would I sacrifice myself to allow Alice cross into Canada freely? To give her a life beyond android persecution? And now I'm good. Blaze of glory, baby!
Next, please.
Well, there we were. Moment of truth.
ID, please.
You know, he seemed like a nice enough fella, manipulatable enough to emotionally jeopardize our way across the border.
Please. I just want to be free.
And for a split second, a mere moment, it seemed like he had a heart. It seemed that, oh, they started a revolution!
They're androids.
On your knees!
Ah, frick. Now listen, Alice, things might be looking terrible, but...
I'm sorry, Alice. I love you, Carl.
Wait, how? I made you sleep in an abandoned car because I thought it was funny. Okay, Alice, listen. I got a 3-step process on how we get out of here. Hear me out. First,
And now we have just received some disturbing news from Detroit.
Yes, Michael. Authorities have just announced that the Hart Plaza camp has fallen into the hands of the rebels, following some particularly violent fighting.
The deviants are thought to be freeing the androids inside the camp. If these reports are confirmed, the consequences could well be catastrophic.
Millions are fleeing the fighting. We are witnessing an exodus.
We hear that the fighting has come to a halt in Detroit. The armed forces are retreating to Fort Wayne to await reinforcements. The city of Detroit has fallen into rebel hands.
But given the extreme violence of the attack, they were forced to retreat after suffering heavy losses. Fighting is breaking out all over the country to combat the android rebellion. Humanity is about to fight the most important battle in history, one that will lead to our victory or to our extinction.